Hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to get right back into it with our next email and our next case. Alright. Hello Charlie. Today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Hi Amy. Thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Thank you, Lizzie. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know, you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we'll never speak again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea? Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing the sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy gothic aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom ran over. I'm just gonna try it out, because it turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. You know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet, though. Dead Meat is an awesome name for a dating site. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. Oh, maybe I'll read this one first. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income, and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing, and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. Here we go. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mum and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent you this. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some fast food before taking the hearse through the car wash. 2 birds, 1 stone. It's being back to the home. Do you want anything? Beef and cheddar. I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru though, of course. Freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. A few emails for urgent topics. Miscalculated some of our income, huh? Ooh. Interesting. This is something I've been interested in as well, as an LGBTQ person myself. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut and are buried under the wrong names and are subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. This absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the Fraud Directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation, obviously, enters into a world of issues. Since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived in it. So, a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage. This doesn't mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, the duty is also to ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. Good post, man. Really well-written stuff. I wonder if the Respect After Death Act thing is current. It'd be interesting to know. I tend not to look up that stuff because it can often be quite depressing, but it's important to know not only your own history, but current events. Before we cremate Miss Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall's family brought clothing and jewellery for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process, as to not damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. Click and drag the necklace and place it on the bumper tray. We will place the necklace in the urn with Mrs. Hall's remains later. Ash has been cremated. It's been a while since I read the email, so I don't remember exactly what it said. I was too busy thinking about the other stuff. We'll need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it on the coffin. This. Great! Mrs. Hall is all set to be cremated now. I guess you're gonna cremate her with those clothes. I never really thought about how that works. I kind of just assumed that you'd go in naked, just because, I don't know. It just feels like it makes more sense, but I suppose it stands to reason that they're going clothed. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down to ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn on the cremulator. We can drag the bone fragments and drop them into the top. Oh god, I don't want to drop it. Whoa! Okay. Grinding them up, huh? Now that all the bones have been processed, all three of them, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Make sure to put Mrs. Hall's necklace back into the urn. Okay. Don't forget the tag! Last step, click on the urn's lid and drag it on top of the urn. Bonk! All done. Amy will now take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. This game is interesting because it sort of makes you think, about one's own funeral arrangements. Because I don't know which I'd prefer. I've always liked the idea of, having my essence returned to the earth, as it were, and just naturally decaying, like you would in nature. Not to sound like a hippie, but I don't know. It just sounds nice. This is nice in a weird way. She liked that we're all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. No, I forgot to click on. The food is delicious. I know, it's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Yeah, good food is... Sometimes you get that at funerals. It's pretty neat. Glad she was cremated and not, in an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. Yeah, that's the thing about open casket. I don't think I've ever been to an open casket funeral, but I'm not sure how I would feel about it personally. I would prefer to remember the person as they were alive, and I think seeing them while dead would be, pretty upsetting. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. She'd have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. Yeah, I felt that too. You don't want to, I wouldn't want to be remembered for, how sad I made everyone. Hey, isn't that Valentine's Day? February 14th, 10:14 a.m. Looks, some pink coffee. I'd like some. Maybe it's, hot strawberry milk. Actually, that sounds gross. Wait, is this different? Is this Minesweeper? Oh my god, that's awesome! I love Minesweeper! Oh wow, what does it mean? Okay, I guess that means... I guess that means 4? That's 3, and that's 1. Fuck it. We're just playing Minesweeper now. Alright. I'm pretty good at Minesweeper. I'd probably be even better if I could comprehend what these symbols mean. It's not immediately obvious. Tell you what, I'm gonna play one round. Because, I don't know, I like this. I'm not such a fan of the sounds. I think, I'm all about game feel and, like, sound design. And, I don't know. It's not unpleasant, I suppose. Okay, that's 4. Which is weird, because triangle makes me think of 3. Unless I did something horribly wrong. Okay. Yep, okay. Alright. Alright, we are cooking with oil now. Wait. That means 4, doesn't it? Cool. I'm glad it didn't give me a tricky one where you have to go 50-50. Minesweeper, along with Toho, was another game I used to play constantly during class, just because, like, I usually need to be doing something with my hands while I'm listening to people. And that thing should not distract me too much. It needs to only occupy a small amount of my brain space. What's it? Okay, it's 3. And Minesweeper just so happens to be pretty good for that. That's 3. Excuse me? Right. No, don't do this to me! There's one here. Oh boy, that's a 50-50. I hate that. We're gonna come back to that. I just want to prove that I can clear this. Some freaking genius. I suppose it is a little upsetting that there's no timer there, so I can't time myself. But I guess, it's meant to be a rather more of a relaxing game than a speedrun Minesweeper type game. So, I'll take what I can get. It's also a great opportunity to rest my voice, since I've been talking for a long time. Been talking all day, actually. Damn it! See, this is the shit. I'm gonna take a drink of water. Oh, I just got it. They're ghosts because it's a graveyard and it's mines. Anyway. Alright. Oh no! Hi all, it is with a very heavy heart that I write to let you know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources like Google told me that this would be the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct, be remorseful. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. They've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. It's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for the business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So, we've been bought, or sold. Either way, soon, Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will place Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. And honestly, I'm trying hard not to see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have a good reputation and have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. Sincerely, Annie Rose. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. Hi, Amy. I'm so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service, and she would have been happy with it. It's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, Margareta. Hi, Charlie. Please see the note below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Hey, Amy, you asked if there are any special instructions we want to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Thanks, Ariana. I thought I'd forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help them. Sometimes you get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self. It would be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Hi, Amy. I know this email might sound a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles, I should reach out, and you know somebody I could talk to about all this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full, good life, and I was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I do feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this way before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mum right now. She's dealing with enough, and with work in the will and trying to just be the best mum she can. I just need somebody to tell me that I'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. Charlie! I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but the way harder. Like seriously, it's really, really difficult. It's the same. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at the hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? High score gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us is in town next. Keep on protecting Earth with green burials. Maybe this is what I'm talking about before. Excuse me. You lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution, and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least, that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular, and are focused on few rules. Mainly, it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the earth from those preparing bodies, and restore and preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after they're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. I personally think they're pretty cool. Mr. Rees came directly from the hospital, so don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him. His family did not provide any for us to include. However, Mr. Rees has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove for the cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing his pacemaker. Interesting. I guess it is a battery. You can see the pacemaker. Click on the forceps to click and drag the pacemaker out the heart. I'm clicking on it. The scalpel I guess it just squelches when you're holding it. Whoa! Look at that thing. This would be a much messier job. I've seen, I suppose it was work experience. For my work experience placement, I went to a radiology clinic, and, I was in the room for a surgery, and it was really interesting, but, it wasn't a pacemaker, but, something a bit like this with wires was in the patient's body, and let me tell you, they don't come out that easily. Put the forceps away and place it around, and have the finishing tag in the coffin. Okay, doke. Oh, I have to put them away. Well, my reading comprehension is excellent. Can I? Yeah. I like the little ellipsis. And in he goes. Alright, let's get these bones. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments into ash-like remains. Oh, that was an accidental click, but I guess it worked in my favor. It's so weird, like hearing about how cremation works. I think my dog was cremated. Yeah, don't remember what we did with her ashes. We probably buried her under the same tree that we put our bird in. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. I love that character. She's so cute. Hey guys, how's it going? Do you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it, stubborn. That's tricky. These unresolved things. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere? Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you that time we tailgated? I really don't like beer. Controversial opinion, I know. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. And you can't blame yourself for stuff like that. People make choices. Not always choices that are good for them, but, you know, can't help yourself sometimes. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never really seemed like he cared if I was there or not. It's hard to say. Lack of closure on these things, I'm sure it's very difficult. I am lucky enough to have never had someone very close to me die. I've been to funerals of a few relatives and stuff, but no one I felt a particular a particularly large emotional attachment to. Other than the mother of one of my childhood friends, that was pretty rough, but it's funny how that works. Thought I'd pass this along to you. Hi, Amy. I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month, and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Oh, Rebecca? Okay, I think this is all the same, even though, I suppose control's been handed over to the other company. Oh, interesting. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront this situation, yet anyways, they're never easy. Rosen Daughters has asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation. The family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with the body. It's unfortunate, but you have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later this afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need me. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns matters of his burial. He's clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll bring a check. Oof, it's pretty rough. You don't always know with these things. It's hard to say, especially when you don't know the context of either parties, but it's a dilemma, alright. Mushrooms! For quite a tonal whiplash. You hate mushrooms so much I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker, look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it. I'm writing it on my phone so I don't feel like googling it right now. Anyway, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call a biomix, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help decompose body, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for people for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. Might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, maybe we'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm not probably gonna do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? That sounds pretty dope, not gonna lie. But that sounds awesome. I love to have a mushroom suit. Fungi are terrifying. Like, they scare me. They're too intelligent for what they are. But it's interesting. And I think it would be pretty cool to wear a suit of them to death. I think that'd be pretty cool. Things to avoid saying at a funeral. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Because some things will be more comforting to other people. That's true. Like, especially with religion. Like, a lot of common stuff is, like, they're in a better place now, and that's not always helpful. Like, I know, if you come from a religion with, like, an afterlife, then that may be of a comfort to you, but I suppose since not everyone believes in the same thing, it's not always... The good intention doesn't always translate. It's tough. But yeah, knowing the right thing to say, it's difficult. Because there isn't really a right thing to say. I think the best thing you can do is just be honest, be sincere, and, you know, not try to say, not like, for want of better phrasing, not, like, use your own words, really. Just say something from the heart. Don't be like, we are sorry for, in this difficult time, like the COVID emails right now. Probably, I'm going to censor that for demonetization issues, even though I'm not getting demonetized, but you know how the algorithm is. Yes, okay. But unfortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what's not to say to someone who is grieving. So here it is. Excuse me. Funerals monthlies. Top 5 things to not say at a funeral. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this, and it's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. That's a good point. But they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views. And not only is not always comforting, it can also be insulting. Yeah. Don't do that. They're with the angels now. See the above's note and rinse and repeat. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for your help. You want to help, but just specific things. For example, I'm proof you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them. Take them to their favourite restaurant or buy tickets to see a movie together. That's really good advice. I'm gonna save that one. Like, just in general. Like, because that applies to a lot of things in life. Like, just when your friend's having a rough time, if you just say, like, let me know if I can help. It's like, if someone said that to me, I wouldn't know what, I mean, I'd be, like, thankful and all, but I never know what I want. Sometimes you gotta be like, hey dude, I'll bake you a fucking cake. And it's like, man, that sounds really good right now. That kind of thing. Now, I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Us first. Oh boy, the ADHD autism brain is... If you know, you know. The empathy is hard. I get empathy and sympathy mixed up, so when I'm trying to comfort someone or relate to someone, that often turns into a personal anecdote. And I don't mean to make it about me, but it's like... I don't know. I don't know how my brain works. It's hellish. But I'm told this is a common experience and people don't always take that to be a bad thing, so that's nice. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. They phrased it better. Well, look, the way I see it, it's gonna happen anyway. Because doing otherwise is gonna land you in legal trouble. And, you know, I don't personally have a problem with handling this. I do think it is a very unfortunate circumstance. I would prefer to prioritize the dead's wishes over the family's in this case, but seeing it's going to happen anyway, like, I might as well be the one to do it, so. That's my logic. How well that would translate to real life, I'm not sure. The deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Let's start by cleaning the body. I wonder if... It must be weird shaving a dead body. I would be worried about doing it because, like, even when it's, like, myself, back when I did actually shave, it was like, it's hard, it's easy to just, like, make a slip up and make little cuts, and when it's a dead person, that cut's not gonna heal. That's gonna be there. So it's tricky. I still can't quite vision what these are. I'm imagining, like, contact lenses bigger. I'm getting speedy at this. Alright, let's moisturize. Alright. Maximum efficiency. Right. So much for efficiency. wonder how much training you need for this sort of job. Like, it's tricky because, with medical practice and stuff, the stakes are often quite high. Like, I know with medical residents and stuff, not residents, that's when you're actually a doctor, I think. But, when you're in training, you do a lot of watching people do procedures, and, you do a lot of helping with little things, like putting in an IV drip and, you know, like low-stakes procedures. But when you're dealing with a dead person, in this case, I can't imagine it'd be easy to train someone, because, you know, you don't want to make your rookie mistakes on, that's not what I wanted. You don't want to make your rookie mistakes on a person who is being embalmed. I suppose, you have models and stuff. Oh wait, that is not correct. I don't know, it's interesting. I imagine this would be much messier in real life, though. All done. Mike will take care of Mr. Scott's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in this casket. I guess, I think the shaving... Oh! I actually do know something about this. The razor thing, use those... I'm pretty sure most... you do the razor thing, not always for cosmetic purposes, but if you're making like incisions in the body, like I know that happens in surgery, and a lot of surgeons nowadays, I believe, use those electric razors that are becoming more popular now because they are much less likely to cut the skin, and in fact, I don't think you really can if you're doing it right. So that's your fun fact of the day. That may or may not be accurate because I saw this in a movie and on a YouTube channel. Or rather on a YouTube channel reacting to a movie. The YouTube channel was of a doctor. Could have been Dr. Mike, could have been someone else. I don't remember. Quiet sobs. Oh yeah, this is a suicide, so it's rough conditions. I wish we were closer. Wow, I still can't believe this is real. My baby brother. Should have played more games with him when he asked. I can't blame yourself for this stuff. I heard it wasn't going to be an open casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. I still can't believe he did it. I feel like I should have known, you know, been able to do something to stop it. There's no way to know. You can't blame yourself. You wouldn't have wanted that. I know, it just hurts. Yeah, I know. Suicide is rough. It's always, I think it's always turns into a case of, it can be very easy to blame yourself in the aftermath of that kind of thing. But in the end, I suppose, I tend to be a very practical person, and blaming yourself in these sort of situations, nothing as good is ever going to come of it. Like, you can't, at that point, you can't undo anything. All you got to do is resolve to fix whatever caused it in the first place. But we've hit our time limit again. My throat is getting sore, so we're going to take a break before continuing. But thank you for joining me on this in this video. I'm having a wonderful time looking at this game. I really, really like it so far. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.